Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back, it's Jordan here. Today we're going to continue working on my Lego ski slope. So I came down here this morning with like a fresh mind and I was like, all right, what are we going to do with this ski slope here? I started like removing some of these big white slope panels, placing more of my IKEA boxes, creating some steep slopes, framed out a small little platform there on top of the large IKEA box. And then I placed these two like, what are they? Medium IKEA boxes right here because I'm like, maybe this shouldn't slope all the way down. I started moving some rock panels around, just starting to get a better visual of what I'm actually going to do here. Just because now I have these boxes, so now I can actually sort of visualize the slope, right? So today I'm going to come up with sort of like a, not really a new plan, but I'm going to continue working on my plan and actually start developing this ski slope. It's going to be pretty cool. Like this guy right here, he is fired up. You know what? I like this project because it's a way that I can sort of express my creativity, and I have a lot of passion for snowboarding and the mountains and like winter, like maybe not winter, but just for like outdoor sports in the winter. And I'm like fired up about this project here because I have a lot of like source material that I can work with. Now I'm thinking like, where am I going to add a terrain park? Like, where's there going to be some jumps and some rails and some boxes and just really cool things like that. And I'm like, oh man, maybe I should have given this ski slope this whole table here because I want to make just a massive ski slope, but I'm not going to do that because I want it to be more of like just part of the winter village. But I am like really excited about this project. I think it's something that I could run with even beyond like November, December, January, February. I think I could just run with this project for a long time and just keep like making modifications to my little ski slope because I think it's going to be something pretty cool that you can just sort of tinker with and, oh, I'm going to change this run or I'm going to change that run or I'm going to add another fixture to my terrain park, or let's change up this rock cliff here. Let's add some more trees here, add some more lights here, maybe improve the lift, etc. So I think it's a project that I could just like work on continuously. Pretty excited about continuing here today. It's going to be pretty cool. And yeah, I talked about this sickness that I've had over the last few days, and I'm finally feeling much better. It started on Monday, now it's Saturday, and I'm feeling pretty good. So I think today I'm going to have a hot cup of coffee while I'm working on this project, and I could not be more excited. Like, that is going to be game changing. So I've got my box framed up top here. That's where the gondola landing is going to be. It might have to change just based on how big that gondola landing is. Really not too sure how that's going to work at this point, but we'll figure it out in the near future, I guess. I also changed this up so that looks good. It's a little more blend now, like we've got some flats, so it's not such an aggressive downhill, plus there's a little more texture to it. And I still got to add like curved slopes and minifigures and all that as well, and also some trees coming down the side as well. And then we've got like a little flat right here on top of those IKEA boxes, and then a steep. I've just built this using some 1x bricks, and what I'll do is I'll put some snot bricks in there and add some slopes and stuff so you can actually get some texture to it. And then I'll put some more trees down here, or put some guy cutting through the ungroomed snow, right? Over here I've also capped the train tunnels, so those are all ready to go now as well. So now you can sort of start to visualize how big the actual hill is going to be, because of course people will actually be able to ski on top of the train tunnels. Just have to put a fence in, right? And then I also did that over here as well, and it's just coming along now. I've got to just decide how I'm going to blend this here together. And also I think I've got to change up the blending here. I'm going to move all these bricks outward a bit so it works with this sort of slope. So you've got like the nice groomer coming down here, and then some rough like loose powder coming down there to the continuation of the green run maybe. So yeah, it's just all about like trying to blend the different runs together, making sure all the different types of like slopes that I've built work together, and then just sort of like mapping out the mountain. I also got to figure out where that terrain park is going to go. I have no idea at this point. So yeah, to decide. And stuff like this here actually takes quite a bit of time, just like getting the plate work, getting the support structure underneath that hill that I modified there, and just figuring everything out, like layering it properly and actually building up so it's solid construction underneath, and then mapping out the runs in my head. But this definitely helps. I much prefer the look of this here. It's just a little more gradual, Blends in nicely with the lower IKEA box. I also added a little Mills plate on top of the IKEA box there just to blend in that height difference. And all this is here is colorful brick underneath white plate and white brick. And then once again, I'll have to change that up. I'll continue this along there, and I can even do more blending with like slopes and vegetation as well. And then of course, action stories. I can't wait to do the action stories. That's going to bring it to life. So I'm really enjoying doing this slope work here, and I'm doing it quite differently than I did before. I was just throwing it down randomly the first time and didn't really make any sense, just no rhyme or reason. But now what I do is I just count the height and I calculate the height that it needs to go, and then I pull my slopes, and then I just build them in 2 stud segments. For example, this right here can just be removed and put in, and then this one here can be removed and put in. So if I need to change them, they're like their own little modules that can be removed. And I just think that's pretty neat because I can just come in here and pretty much remove any of these quite easily. I wish I had the parts or just the courage to order this amount of parts so that I could do all of my rock work like that, because mine is sort of like a hybrid. You see, there's slopes, but there's also rock panels. Whereas this is just 100% slopes, and look at that, it looks fantastic. But hey, I still think these look pretty good, but the consistent texture of the all slopes is just so pleasing. Like, wow, the difference is pretty substantial, I think. So now I'm working on filling in the section next to all of that slope work there. I'm building some cliff edges here because I think it'd be pretty cool to have some cliff drops. And I think this little panel here does a great job of representing some fresh powder, right? Using some of those modified 1x2 bricks. I think those work out quite nicely. I'd want to hit up that powder. And then I also created a very steep mogul run and also the start of my board park right here. So yeah, I just built this using some white brick and then also some snap bricks. And those hold my moguls in place there, using some of those 4x4 circular white plates and some of the 2x2 ones on top. Then I've got my first little kicker there, a little jump. I'm going to call that a 30-foot jump. There you go. Maybe each tile represents 10 feet. And then over here, I've got my 60-foot jump. Oh yeah, it's a monster. And that's just going to chill right there. Starting to put some rock panels in the back there as well to blend that in and also just add a nice backdrop to that area of the mountain. And then I want to add some more board park down here because I think that'll be pretty cool. So we're going to have some cliff drops right here and the board park and moguls beside that. And then once again, this green run will have to continue down here. So it's coming together slowly but surely, I guess. A lot of parts going into this. It's actually nuts. But good thing I've got a lot of parts, and it's definitely worth using them on this huge project. So yeah, things are coming along quite nicely. I'm really happy with this design. I think that was pretty cool. And then we got some fresh powder. We got some chutes there. We're putting in some rocks now, so that's good. We've got our green run. Yeah, pretty sweet. Can't wait to go snowboarding mid-November. It's going to be epic. So I'm working into the night here. The hockey game is on, so that's convenient. How's it going, Stella? And yeah, just got some more blending down here. So now the moguls and the start of the terrain park is nicely blended in there with all sorts of slopes. I've still got to add some more slope details to those rocks and also add some slope detail to the back rocks. And then this is all nicely blended in here. So you've got like this nice plate work here, which leads into the slopes. I really like that effect. And then we got the fresh powder up there. So that's pretty cool. This is all blended in now as well. This is sort of coming down. This is still our green run. A little bit more difficult over here with these bricks. And now I'm starting to work on like this area and also a continuation of the green run, which is coming right down here. And then hopefully it can make a slight turn toward the gondola, which will be over there. Yeah, so it's coming along pretty nicely. It's just so much trial and error. It's actually crazy, but I'm really happy with the outcome of just the different varieties that we have happening here on the ski hill. And I'm also happy with the outcome of this game so far, although it just started. Late night game, 8 o'clock. I don't know how much longer I can go, honestly, though. Like, I'm having a lot of fun, but I'm sitting on this little stool here, and my back is starting to hurt. So it's funny because I was moving these around, and I just put them on the side here, and I was like, oh man, it would be cool if this was all like a rock edge on the side. Like the white panel is not too bad, but if that was like a big cliff or mountain, that would look super cool, right? Same with this side here. It's just a bunch of white boxes / white panels. But it doesn't really matter because this is going to come to life here right away. I've added some minifigures just to try and add some life to it because I know it's just a big sea of white brick and plate and slopes right now, but eventually we'll add some trees and some color and also more minifigures. Look at this guy. He's going off the big cliff there with no helmet on. That is dangerous. This guy's about to go off the big jump. I guess I said it was a 60-foot jump. Not really when you lay a minifig there. I'm way wrong. It's more like a 5-foot jump. Maybe I should make these jumps even bigger. A 60-foot jump. It's not even as big as a minifig. Come on. This guy's also ripping the moguls, so that's good. And then I built the downward slope here and got that angle to work. So that'll be pretty neat, of course. So I have to create a white base there and then add details. There's still lots of work to do. And then I did a little steep right here. This is pretty crazy little run. Whoa, pretty steep. It's like the powder in the center and then some rough terrain on the sides. And once I go through and add more plates and slopes and curved slopes to all of this, it'll sort of start to smooth out a bunch more. But I feel like I got a ton done today. Like this is a really good base layout for it. Like bam, look at that. Pretty big looking mountain or ski slope. Definitely lacking a bit of color right now, but details like that always come in the end. I just got to get the rough sort of framework for the mountain complete, and then once that's done, I can actually start adding details. Very curious to know how the gondola is going to work. I don't know if taking that design from the from the Ninjago markets set is going to work or not. See if we can sort of up the scale or size of that so that we can have a gondola running. That is a pretty steep angle that it's working at there, and I think you could get it to go even steeper. It's just a matter of putting like the gondola stations, I guess, on the bottom and also on the top of the mountain, then getting that line connected and then having the parts to create something like that. But yeah, it's coming along great. I put a lot of effort into this today. This took me a long time. Like I've been down here pretty much all day, other than going to my backyard and winterizing it because it's actually slated to snow tomorrow here in Edmonton. So that's interesting. Apparently we're going to be getting snow over the next 2 days. I'm not sure if that's actually going to stick around or not, but winter is definitely coming and we're getting ready here in the Lego room. Everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. I hope you enjoyed this little update. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff, and farewell.